Hey all, here's my last purchase from TeaGschwendner, and I have also a sample to do yet from them, and then I get to order tea from a different company. But we are doing a Darjeeling Avongrove, and as you see, it's a second flush FTG FOP1. And here's what the leaves look like. See, there's some golden leaves. I do see a few sticks. There's quite a variety in here. Very artistic tea. And here's what the first short steep looks like. I find it interesting that there's one lighter one in there. It just fell. So here is the color. It's a classic brown, and that's what it looks like in the cup. So I'm trying to figure out whether the things in this tea are a sign of good quality or bad quality, and I've picked out a few. And you see this one is definitely a long stick, but this one is, I think, a long leaf. And this one is interesting. Seems to be a leaf with, I don't know if that's a golden tip bud or a stick. It almost looks like a stick with a part of a leaf coming off of it. These two in the middle are a lighter color and small, but they look to be leaves. So many different shapes in here. It's not very uniform. And then it does have a couple of these lighter ones, lighter colored ones. So this is some blend or mixture of stuff. I had to try it with a tad of sugar. That tells you the quality, in my opinion, of this tea. And now this is some very, very fresh mint from my garden from last year. We're going to see what it tastes like with mint. Actually, it's pretty good with the mint in it and sugar. That might be the way I have to drink it. Help me use up my mint. Here are my tasting notes for this Darjeeling Avongrove, and it is Darjeeling Avongrove Second Flush FTG FOP1 Organic. So the FTG FOP stands for Fine or Finest Tippy Golden Flowery Orange Piku, and the one is for more delicate long wiry leaf with a light liqueur. I'm going to bounce over here. Hopefully it follows me. This is my notes on leaf grading. Now, when I made these notes up online, there were so many different um, charts, and they didn't include all of them, and it took me a long while to compile these based off of all of the other ones out there. But you see, this is very much at the top. Dust, of course, is at the bottom, and some other notes. Here's one of the places I got it from, but there's others as well to compile that list. So this is supposed to be really good tea because it's up there at the top. Organic tea is grown without using chemical fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, or herbicides. The opposite of that, they use the word conventional. So this should be a really high quality tea. And I love looking for the word organic. This tea is from TeaGschwendner. There's today's date. It's a black tea from Darjeeling. It's from Rungball Valley next to the Balasun River. So it's next to a river. So we know how tea leaves, tea bushes take on the environment, so this river has to affect the taste of this tea. The Avongrove Tea Estate is a tea garden in Merrick CD Block in the Merrick subdivision of the Darjeeling district in West Bengal, India. That's off of Wikipedia actually lists this, so it's a well-known tea estate. And here's some more information about it and that I took off of the Wikipedia. But this interactive full screen map at this link on Wikipedia, you got to go there and play with it. It's just kind of fun. Um, how it works. And so these screenshots are off of there, and you can see how they give you the exact locations of all these places in Darjeeling where you can get tea. And this is a zoomed out version of this interactive map. And number 7 on this map is the Avongrove. So you can see a little thin line, which is probably not thin in real life, which is a river. So it's right on that river. And when you go to Google Maps, this little wiggly line is that river, and here's where this is located. And these are other teas that are grown by Avongrove, so they really do a lot of different kinds of teas, not just this black Darjeeling. Um, so I have no idea how it's processed, especially with all the little different parts in this tea, the different kinds of pieces, the different sizes, the different colors, and then some sticks. And yeah, so your guess is as good as mine, other than black is fully oxidized. It's a second flush, so that means it's a summer tea. That means it was plucked from the tea bushes or trees or whatever in summertime. Um, Online, it said it was often dubbed the champagne of teas. This Darjeeling tea is light in color. I didn't find it light in color. With bright aromatics and a crisp flavor. This does not describe that tea, but that's what I found on the internet. Avongrove is a relative newcomer. This is from the website on TeaGschwendner where I bought this tea. It quickly catapulted up the short list of premier estates. The character in an easygoing format with resounding fruit harmony and light astringency. That did not describe this tea at all. I mean, did I get the wrong tea? So on this color spectrum, I decided it was brown, although it did have a little bit of red tint in it in my white cup. The aroma, the dry aroma, was a classic malty tea aroma, very light and pleasant. Malt is a germinated cereal grain that has been dried in the process known as malting. Malt is basically a sprouted barley, so it goes under the grain category. The wet aroma, though, was much, much different. And it smelled more of a bitter chocolate. And I lost the malt, and I immediately began wondering if I was going to like this tea when I smelt the wet. The astringency was so hard that I could not focus on the body. I had to try several times to get my mind to focus on the body, and it was almost watery. But I put it in the light category instead of the delicate. Um, but I really had trouble. The astringency hits you in the face. It's definitely pungent, bold, top of the categories. I do not like astringency like that at all. And so we were having trouble tasting this first one, even with a very short steep. Um, it's malty, bitter, bitter, bitter chocolate, and if I cook with chocolate, I always have to add sugar. I'm trying to stay away from teas that need sugar. And it tastes though like the wet leaves. I always try to rate a tea if it smells the same as it tastes as its finish. And as far as the wet leaves and the taste and the finish, they were all the same, which is the only good thing I can find about this tea. I am sorry. We did try it with sugar, and it was tolerable with lots of sugar. And this is the only way I'm going to be able to finish this bag of tea. We tried it with mint from my yard and sugar, and that was actually good. And that may be one thing I do to try to use up some of the mint from my yard uh, and be able to tolerate this tea. Um, when we were deciding on the finish, it was definitely drying and tannic, and my husband joked, he says, "Is it finished?" Like he just wanted to be finished drinking this tea. It has the same bitter and tannic lingering in the finish. And I'm sorry, I don't give many teas this low of a rating, but this one only got one heart. I did not like it. It was very hard to swallow. I had to doctor it up to get it to be swallowable. Some people, if you like bitter and drying and tannic and astringent and all those things I don't like, this tea's for you. Not for me. And I kind of find it hard to believe that this is such a highly graded tea with all the inconsistencies in the leaf and the stems and how pleasant the taste was for me. I had such high hopes. Uh, I'm not sure how it got graded like that, and I keep saying, did I get the wrong tea?